Hi, Uncle. We're ready for you whenever you're ready.
I think it's loud enough.
Sure.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for this evening, Lord, and everyone that are here. Lord, open up our ears, our minds, our understanding to what's going on, Father God. May it be a time of learning, understanding, and coming together as one people, Father God. Helping out the community is what it's all about. For our community is what it's all about. Be with us this evening, Father God. Give us the guidance that only you can give. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen? Amen. Amen.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you guys for coming. We have a small group tonight. This is our mandatory semi-annual recap. So a lot of you have been coming to our frequent meetings that we've been having, splitting between Pahala and Naalehu communities. So thank you for doing that. I'd like to start off by doing some short introductions to our staff that have come here tonight. My name is Brenda Yabio Moses. I'm the Deputy Director for the Department of Environmental Management, County of Hawaii. I am also a resident of Pahala, so these systems and these projects are very dear to my heart. So I'm glad to be here representing the county. I have my boss in the back of the room, Ramsey Mansour, and he is the director. He's traveling here from Kona this evening. He was in Keaukaha last night, so we're really getting our money's worth out of him lately. So, but he's an expert. He brings about 40 years of wastewater and solid waste experience to the table. If you guys have any questions for him, he'll be here for a short while. You can feel free to approach him. His name is Ramsey. We have Peter Sir over here. He is our administrative guru in our office, keeps everything going and all the notifications out to the public. Speaking of, we do have some right of entry forms in the back of the room for some of our Naalehu residents that either didn't pick up their letter or didn't respond. So if you guys want to get your letter in the back of the room, feel free to see Peter and he'll get that for you. We have Christy Swafford in the back of the house. She has joined our DEM Ohana. She's our outreach and education specialist, a new position that we got this year to kind of help us navigate through these community outreach programs, our website improvements, and those kind of things. Who else do we have? We have EPI in the back of the house as well. He's our consultant. He's working with us on wastewater systems. We have Cisco Javar. Everybody probably knows him. He's from Pahala.
Cisco.
What is he still there for?
Because he got a house up there.
Yeah.
You should have gone say hi.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes. Can you mute them? Oh, Peter. That's going to go on your performance evaluation, Peter. I'm just saying. But Cisco, he's from Pahala. He also teaches our kids karate and very much community-minded person. We're glad to have him. He's one of our highest-ranking people in wastewater. So thank you for coming here. And we have Mark Grant in the back of the house as well. Mark, raise your hand. He's our project manager for this position. And he's really been making sure that all of the deadlines are being met and this project's moving forward. So we appreciate all of his hard work as well. So anyway, without further ado, because we have a small group this evening, we'll take us through our recap. At any time, if you guys have questions, you can feel free to raise your hand during the presentation. But afterwards, we'll all be here. We can go over maps. If you have specific questions, we'll be in the back of the room. We're in no hurry. I live here, so you guys can take as long as you want to tonight. And we'll answer those questions for you, okay? All right, so here we are, Pahala and Naalehu large capacity cesspool closures. Don't think we really need to go over there. We have a small crowd. I don't see any wild people in the audience that we have to do any rules or regulations. We're all going to be nice to each other. Pahala and Naalehu lots, we do have the maps here, and they're blown up a little bit. So if you guys have a house in Naalehu and Pahala and you haven't seen these maps before, we can go over them with you. And also these handouts, they'll have a website you can reference as well. Oops. run everything myself here. So these are things we're gonna cover this evening. We have maps, we have the semi-annual report that we report to the EPA on a regular basis. Our milestones and what have we accomplished, what we're working on now, and what we hope to accomplish here in the near future, as well as our next steps. The resources, if you guys want to check out our environmental document at the back of your room, you can. It's also on our website, but we'll have those references for you, and we've also printed them out so you can take that reference with you. And then, of course, we have all the time that you need for questions. Okay, we have some community members in here. We have our EMC gentleman in back here, Mr. McIntosh. Thanks for being here. He represents the Environmental Commission. He's on the representative of the Environmental Commission. He's here with us this evening. He's also a resident of Discovery Harbor, or Naalehu, Discovery Harbor. Yes. Okay, and so we have our Pahala maps, and this might be not very easy for you to see, but these are our homes that are, the green is the ones that are hooked up to the the green are the ones that are hooked up to the current gang cesspool, and the pink is the ones that the new line will run in front. So for some of you that haven't been to these meetings, there was a survey that was done, many meetings that we've had to discuss what the best facility would be for these communities. At the end of the day, the sewage treatment plant was the least environmental impact. It was a permanent solution for the community. We did look at septic systems on each individual lot. Those were a temporary fix. If we ever had a sewer system that came in at any time in the future because there was a development and it ran in front of your home, you'd have to then do your septic and upgrade to the sewer. So this is a permanent solution for the communities. And so we're looking forward to doing that, because at some point, 2050, all homes on the Big Island will have to convert from cesspools. So you guys will have a jump on that. And again, that's for Naalehu, and we can go over those maps up close here if you have any questions about where your home is. Okay, so the semi-annual report is mandated by the EPA. It covers the periods of January through June of 2024. So kind of just give you an update of what we've done thus far. The environmental information document preparation, Pahala, the final EID, and selection of alternative 1 was selected, which is the Pahala sewage treatment plant with the new collection system. And our Naalehu draft EID is in development currently. So Pahala is almost a year ahead of Naalehu, but very close in proximity. So we're currently working on the Pahala implementation plan. Once the EPA has approved our EID selection, the implementation plan will be reviewed by EPA, and they'll also be signing off on that or questioning if they have any questions. Naalehu, the future activities. So we're still a little bit behind Pahala in that. We still have some steps to do. Pre-construction Pahala collection system advertised for bid on May 30th. We were able to get ahead of the schedule for this project because we had an opportunity to get $10 million grant, and we needed to get it in the queue. So it was a great win-win for us. We were ahead of the schedule. We also got that $10 million grant that will help the county with some of this funding. Pahala wastewater treatment plant is 30% design complete. Naalehu LLC closures design and process has been initiated. The county website, we update that monthly, and it is on your document here. Like I said, we do have Christy on board now. That's going to be her baby. She will be updating that and making it into the best form that we can get it. I think if you go on there now, you can actually see some of the testing, underwater testing that we did on the Hilo side of the island, Keaukaha. It's pretty interesting if you guys have a chance to view that. Okay, so our cesspool milestones and status. So we finished on time the feasibility evaluation report. The preliminary engineering report was completed on time as scheduled. Our draft EID information document was completed. Amended draft EID, we included our selection based on the surveys. Final information document submitted on June 19th of 2024. Implementation plan due 30 days after EPA approves our EID. So we're just waiting on EPA, which is a good thing. It's better that we wait on them instead of them waiting on us. So as soon as they give us the thumbs up on that, we'll move to the next state. Prepare for construction of our collection system. And then our large capacity cesspool closures, January 2020, or 2027, so not too far away. So we need to keep on moving with this construction. But our Pahala community has been very accommodating to us, and I think going through that process with Pahala, we'll have some lessons learned when we come to Naalehu. So hopefully it'll be even more smoother when we're here in Naalehu. So our next steps for Pahala. We're waiting for the approval from EPA. We'll submit the implementation plan once that approval has been given to us. Finalize acquisition of land and easements. That's already in the process of condemnation. We're just going through the last part of that. Commencement of construction for collection system. Continuation of the wastewater treatment plant design. Next district-wide informational meeting will be February 20th, 2025. And hopefully we'll have some more boxes that we have checked off and completed for that meeting. So we haven't gotten to where we're gotten to without the hard work of our staff. We're understaffed. A lot of vacancies in wastewater. So we have people like Mark and Cisco that are just working all the time, making sure that this community is taken care of. So we appreciate you guys. Okay, so our Pahala centralized package plant with the new sewer collection. We kind of went over this in depth with our meetings that we've had, but we'll be here at the end of the evening. Hi, Kumu Vera, thank you for joining us. At the end of the evening, if you have any questions, this is the centralized plant. We're going to, in Pahala, we'll have the Kamehameha Schools property. About 14 acres. We're going to have a small footprint of the packaged treatment plant and have irrigation in either the current macadamia nut orchards or native Hawaiian foliage, whichever one works out for that area. So it'll be very concealed. It's in a place where you won't be able to see it visually. And hopefully that foliage and stuff will also lend to the appearance. Our Naalehu cesspool closures and milestones and status. So we've completed the feasibility report on time and on schedule. The preliminary engineering report was completed, and we do have in the back of the room on that table in the blue binders, there is actually a printout of the preliminary engineering report. If any of you guys want to borrow it, you can feel free to take it with you. Environmental information document. So we're in draft EID in development. Will reflect a tentative selection of the alternative one because that's what this community has surveyed and said that they wanted. And again, it's a permanent solution. Permanent comment period, public comment period, and meeting in Naalehu EID to be announced. So once we get that approved, it will come out with you guys and have that public meeting for some comment period. And final EID is due on October 22nd, 2024. Once the EID is approved from EPA, we'll then go into the implementation plan. And then our scheduled closure is December 2027, so about a year from Pahala. So our next steps for Naalehu. Receive, sign, right of easement or entry agreements for project. So we have a surprisingly good response. If you are on a gang cesspool or one of those homes that the line will run in front of your house, you should have got a certified letter Some of them were unclaimed, some of them weren't responded to. We have all of those printed out in the back. Feel free to take it with you, look over it if you have any questions. It's basically a right of entry so we can go onto your property, evaluate where this line needs to go. And the engineers in the back of the house will need that document signed so we can have entry. And then also a contact number, because we won't just go on the property without prior notice. I usually go out there and protect our EPI staff from the dogs and stuff. I took a bite for them last time, didn't I? But anyway, we'll make sure that we give you notice, and I usually come with them since this is a community I know most of you guys. Okay, the development and release of the ID, scheduling a community meeting for the public input, all of that will be going out the same way that we've always done. And if you haven't been getting the flyers and the notices in the mail, please make sure that you sign in with your address and we'll add you to the mailing list. And then also, of course, the public notices, calendar, radio, our website always has that information on there as well. Okay, so the continuation of the design efforts, county to release final EID, EPA to review, county to prepare implementation plan, and that the next district-wide meeting will be in Pahala, since we had it in Naalehu, try to go back and forth, and it'll be on that February 20th. And here's our resources. Hopefully you guys got the printout. You can take it with you if you ever need to look at the website or contact us. We have do we have our telephone number on there, Peter? There we go. I thought Peter was trying to get out of getting telephone calls, but there's Peter's direct number, 961-8099. My email address is also on there and it's on your handout. So feel free to give us a call if you have any questions, email us, go to the website, look at the other projects that we're working on and some of the updates that we have for our department. So with that, I'm going to open it up for any questions that you have that you would like to voice in front of the community at this time, and then like I said, we will be here around to ask individual questions and look over maps. So is anybody has any questions right
now? What happened to the ground cover work that they did?
So that's our work product, and we have that. What we decided to do when we came on board is to take the contractor out of the middle and work directly with the communities. Fiscally is a lot of money. We're lucky to have Ramsey, so out of 40 years of wastewater experience and stuff. So we still have them, we still consult with them, and we still have their work product. But we do, when we looked at having different systems, like the individual septic system, EPI, that was their background. We're lucky to have EPI on the island. There was no cost for transporting employees over here. So they're a local group that we're working with right now, but we still work with Brown and Caldwell as well. They're our resource. They have all of our information. Go ahead, Keone.
Is the EID the same thing as an environmental assessment? And if so, is it going to be published in the OAQC bulletin for public review?
Yeah, so the EID was set up by EPA as one way of an environmental document, whichever way we have. So it's going to be our environmental document for the project. And it will be published and it will go to our website. Is it published on that website that he said? Was it
environmental notice, the state Office of Environmental?
Yeah.
So the EID.
The 10, yeah.
Yeah, so the EID is supplemental environmental document that will supplement our EA.
Okay, they just use a different terminology.
Yeah, there's a little bit more criteria that we got last week.
And we're setting up all our projects, so we are aligned with the federal procurement. So in case there's any grants, like we got from Naalehu, that we're in line to receive those grants. So yeah, we're following all of the check marks to get through that process.
Where we are on land acquisition for the treatment plants.
Yeah.
Release the apparition ponds over there.
So we're going with we're analyzing the EID right now, but with the fiscally feasible thing in the community has said is the treatment plant, it's a smaller imprint. It's not digging deep football fields to the ground here. The cost for the lagoons per household was some $475,000 a home. It was very expensive. And 20 years ago, lagoons are different than they are now. And we kind of understand that they're not lower maintenance. You do have to have 2 people at the site anyway. Here in this community, and especially Pahala, where we had McNutt fields and irrigation going on in lagoons, that would have been a real mess. So we're looking at getting comparable things in both communities, so they're fair and equitable, but as also we can have one set of staff that can maintain both facilities and be fiscally responsible for the community as well. This is not going to be a cheap project, it's going to be hundreds of $millions in both of these communities, but it's going to be a permanent solution. So, and the county has to go through a condemnation process for the land acquisition. So we're further along in that land acquisition with Pahala because we're working with the landowner for the other acquisition.
How are we gonna do this? We're gonna bond or?
Yeah, so we do have both. I mean, we've been relentlessly trying for grants because this community is a disadvantaged community. So we do have some, even our SR funding. There is some loan forgiveness because our community is considered a disadvantaged community, which is amazing. So sometimes when you get those SRF loans for very low interest from the state, they do loan forgiveness at the end. So maybe they'll forgive a couple $1 million or what have you. So that's amazing to have that opportunity. We also had to go out for bonds because in this administration, we could not allow deferred maintenance in prior administrations. They just didn't have the money, so they deferred. So we got the mayor to approve going out for hundreds of millions of dollars in wastewater, set aside for wastewater improvements where we have to get the Hilo wastewater treatment plant done and we have to address this as it's under EPA. It should have been done a long time ago, so yeah. Lots to do. Yes.
So it's my understanding the county is operating off the 2017 AOC, but the EPA website shows this 2024 proposed AOC. It doesn't look like it's signed by the county yet. Can you tell me why that may be on the table?
We have a revised AOC from the 2017. When we came on board, we worked with the EPA to get a revised AOC. So there is a revised one signed. I'm not sure which one you're looking for on that.
Yeah, it's on the EPA website, the one that the county website directs you to. It says 2024 proposed amended administrative order on consent. I have signature blocks that aren't signed yet. I was just wondering why that may have been dropped.
We have it executed.
It was executed in August 2022.
Are you looking at the current AOCs? We have several on
So it's another draft.
Yeah, we have 14. So maybe the one you're looking at for different.
Go ahead, Mark.
So, we amended the AOC that came to Naalehu and Pahala. When we agreed upon it with EPA, we had to post it on public comment. So I'm not sure if the public comment period, but that period has expired and we have the executed amended AOC. I think it was March 2020. So that may be the first you're seeing that might be the.
They're calling it the 2024, but it's really just amended.
Yeah, but it might be a public comment period. Right, if you need a copy.
Okay, we'll be here, and Keone, feel free to you can look at these maps and things as well, but we're going to just leave it here. You guys come to see me. We have Ramsey, Marcus, the project coordinator, myself, Cisco, so each of us can EPI in the back of the house. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to come and talk to us. Also help yourself to some goodies on your way out as well. Thank you.
Thank you.